So this is from what Richardson was reading. The book was divided into 5 sections, each numbered separately. The first section summarized the experiences of different people who believed that their spirit had left their body, passed through 4 barriers, and crossed over into another world. These travelers believed that all humans carried energy within the body like a tiger trapped in a cage. Suddenly the cage door swung open and the light was free. Section 2 described the lives of several travelers who had appeared during the last 1,000 years. A few of these people became hermits and went off to live in the desert. But many of the travelers started movements and challenged the authorities. Because they had stepped outside the world, travelers saw everything from a different perspective. The author of Section 2 suggested that St. Francis of Assisi, Joan of Arc, and Isaac Newton had been travelers. Newton's famous Dark Journal, kept hidden in the library vault at Cambridge University, revealed that the British mathematician dreamed he had crossed the barriers of water, earth, air, and fire. In the 1930s, Joseph Stalin decided that travelers were a threat to his dictatorship. Section 3 described how the Russian secret police arrested more than 100 mystics and spiritual leaders. A physician named Boris Orlov examined the travelers held at a special prison camp outside Moscow. When the prisoners crossed over to other realms, their hearts beat once every 30 seconds, and they stopped breathing. They were like dead men, Orlov wrote. The energy of life has left their bodies.
The Harlequin was mentioned earlier, and the Harlequin is the person who protects the traveler. And within these books, the role of the Harlequin is something of a central concept, and it's something that calls out to the reader. Without the Harlequins, the travelers, who are sort of the prophets, if you will, sometimes in science, sometimes in religion, wouldn't be with us, and society would simply be controlled by the machine. But the Harlequin sacrifices everything in order to take on this role. Rebecca mentioned the lack of human relationships. Alf mentioned the lack of compassion, or the inability to compromise anything except for the need to protect the traveler. So the passage that I'd like to read is about Maya, the Harlequin, trying to protect Gabriel. She's just arrived, she's been betrayed, and she's just had to kill 2 people in order to protect him. Maya stripped off her blood-splattered clothes and stuffed them into a plastic garbage bag. The 2 dead bodies were only a few feet away, and she tried not to think about what had happened. Stay in the present, she told herself. Concentrate on each action. Scholars and poets had written about the past, admired it, longed for it, regretted it. But Thorne had taught his daughter to avoid these distractions. The sword blade itself was the proper model as it flashed through the air. Shepard had left to meet someone named Pritchett, but he could return at any moment. Although Maya wanted to stay and kill the traitor, her first objective was to track down Gabriel and Michael Corrigan. Perhaps they've already been captured, she thought, or maybe they didn't have the power to become travelers. There was only one way to answer those questions. She had to find the brothers as quickly as possible. Maya got some spare clothes out of her suitcase and pulled on jeans, a t-shirt, and a blue cotton sweater. She wrapped her hands with strips of plastic bags, sorted through Bobby J's handguns, and picked out a small German-made automatic with an ankle holster. A combat shotgun with a pistol grip and a folding stock was in the long metal suitcase, and she decided to take it along with her. When she was ready to go, she tossed an old newspaper on the bloody floor and stood on it while she searched the brothers' pockets. Tate was carrying $40 and 3 plastic vials filled with raw cocaine. Bobby J had more than $900 in cash rolled up in a rubber bag. Maya took the money and left the drugs beside Tate's body. Carrying the shotgun case and her other equipment, she left through the emergency door, walked a few blocks west, and tossed the bloody clothes into a dumpster. Now she was standing on Lincoln Boulevard, a 4-lane street lined with furniture stores and fast food restaurants. It was hot, and she felt as if the splattered blood was still sticking to her skin. My favorite part of the books, apart from the idea of Big Brother, the machine, and whatnot, which touches on so much of our own reality, was the Harlequin's search for her identity. It touches on it really briefly in this passage at the end. She does say that she's not acting as a Harlequin. She is in touch with her humanity, and a huge part of this trilogy is her wrestling with her role versus her humanity, trying to balance having a human heart versus carrying out an incredibly important role.
Because for everybody that hasn't read the books, Maya, I like to call her Maya, some people are Maya. She is, Gabriel is important, Michael's important as well, but I think a lot of people really identify with her because she's somebody who is exceptionally flawed, and yet she's got such a beautiful character. She's strength, but she also has such an innate weakness within her. She has insecure, like she's got to be this strong, hard person. She was raised to be a warrior, and the things that were done to her to make her a warrior as even a girl were so unbelievably cruel. What she was raised, how she was raised in order to be what she had to be, and yet there's just this she's almost like a flower on the inside because she's just such a beautiful person that it's so endearing that you almost fall in love with her character. Just in itself, regardless of all the different concepts, you almost read it just for her because she is so interesting and beautiful. I actually, in the other book, thought I would. I wrote down a whole bunch of different people within the book. So anybody that hasn't read them recently, it might bring everybody back. But there's Maya, there's Thorn, her father, there's Mother Blessing, the Evergreen Foundation, Gabriel Corrigan, Michael Corrigan, the Tabula, General Nash, the Harlequins, Hollis, Boone, of course, who can forget Boone, Vicky, Isaac Jones, Lyndon, Sparrow, the Vast Machine, New Harmony, and of course, who can forget Alice?
And I think it's important to know that the name is Victor on the Cross.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah.
That the whole Christian
Yes.
group in LA,
Which is
Isaac
Isaac
Jones he was part of this traveler, and this supporters became the small church, and their names are basically Christian.
Yeah.
And yet they're supporting this really
That's right.
renegade following that is not at all.
Has anything to do with religion.
So it's a wonderful sort of dichotomy.
Huge way they do, because the root of religion, the concept of the traveler, the idea is that Jesus, Muhammad, and all of the prophets were travelers to begin with.
That's right.
And that you see that in lots of current belief systems as well, the idea that it's just been corrupted over time.
Well, and in part of the book, they actually say that Jesus was a traveler, right? So